Hello, Simon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Aneil. I'm extremely well on what was a gloriously sunny Wiltshire day, but is now not so gloriously sunny.
Oh dear, it's beautiful here in London. It's absolutely
Although the
stunning.
Met Office does assure me that it's going to become beautiful and sunny again.
Well, here it is perfect Dr. Funk drinking weather. In fact, what I'm probably going to do after this podcast is going to go down to the park, go to the local cafe that sells Dr. Funk. In fact, it was the first place in the country to sell Dr. Funk because I popped in after I came back from the factory one day and he had a sip of it and went, "Oh, I'll put this straight in the window," and it's been there ever since, selling extremely well. So so I might pop down to the cafe and have a Dr. Funk.
Sorry, bugs. It's one of the problems with living in the bloody countryside.
Well, see, it's because it's not sunny outside, so they're all coming indoors to play with you.
One less bug polluting the atmosphere. Yes, no, it's been an interesting week. Had one minor little blip which set the hearts aflutter when one of our suppliers didn't think they'd be able to get a particular ingredient in time for us to do the production run. But I'm glad to say, and I think it sort of reflects the time and we have taken to source everything, that they came through and we are back on track with the production of our direct to print cans, and very exciting. We've got all flights and hotels booked, and look, very much looking forward to 10 days time.
Yeah, I think we did have a little blip, didn't we? We did think in the middle of the week that everything was kind of about to collapse, but they pulled through. So yeah, we will be on a jet plane and at the factory in about 10 days' time, won't we? Or you've got a much more pressing engagement on one of the days, I think. But I'll man the fort for a day while you do all your royalty kind of things.
I'm going to refrain from saying anything. Yes, no, it's all very exciting. But I mean, I think it's worth stressing. It was a dramatic blip purely because of our launching into one of the big multinationals. It might have delayed it, and only in that sense was it a catastrophe. I mean, other than that, it was just making sure we got the right ingredients. And as I said, I'm pleased to say our suppliers came through as they have done since we started.
Yeah, and I think it's really important, that kind of supplier relationship, because I think when we started with Dr. Funk, I think it was you that said to me, do you know how much sugar is in all these drinks? And it was something I'd sort of paid lip service to, but when the scales fall from your eyes and you look at the back of the packs and you look at the back of the cans and you look at what you're actually being given. I mean, I don't know about you, but from a non-food and drink background, my assumption is these manufacturers and these big brands that we all eat and drink every day are acting in your best interest and are giving you things that are good. And it's quite shocking to see what they're putting in some of the products when you take a look, as we did, in order to start, to make Dr. Funk.
Absolutely, and I think from the additive point of view, the sheer volume of sugar in a standard drink, exactly that. I think when you drill down on it, it's incredibly scary. And it's very obvious, where some of the issues that we have in the world today of child obesity, diabetes is massively on the rise, and it's really quite scary. And then if you look at the alternatives, so that somebody says it's sugar free, and then they put whatever that product is, aspartame, which the World Health Organization now says, potentially could be,
carcinogenic.
Carcinogenic. And I think it's really scary. And I think, when we were when we came up with the whole concept of Dr. Funk, and you know, we were looking at ingredients, how rigid you and I were about, we want no sugar, we want no artificial sweeteners, and you know,
that just reminds me. Can you remember we were driving along somewhere and we stopped and had a drink, and we both bought the same drink because we thought it looked interesting.
yeah.
And we took a mouthful of it and basically spat it out because it was so disgusting. And then looked at the back of the can and went, "What the blooming heck have they put in here?"
I mean, if I remember rightly, I think there wasn't one iota of natural.
No,
there wasn't one natural ingredient in it.
It was appalling, and it was just really full of artificial preservatives and flavorings and colorants and you name it. And I think that for me was the turning point of.
Yeah, I think that was very much. I think I agree with you on that. I think very much that was my sort of road to Damascus moment. That, you know, hang on a second, out of free choice, we're putting this rubbish into our bodies, and
you don't think,
and you really don't think. And I mean, how often do you pick up a can and go, "Oh, look! Oh my gosh! Look what's in it." You don't. You just, you know, you're so, and especially some of the more global brands, you're so used to it that you just.
Well, you trust them. You trust them to be doing the right thing. And they say, you know, the sugar conversation. I mean, for me, the sugar element was absolutely incredible. You know, just how much sugar you're drinking. I mean, I used to have a lot of sugar and stuff when I was a kid. And, you know, I think it's an absolute scandal about how much people are putting in. And I think from our point of view, when we started with Dr. Funk, and I think when we sat down and went, right, how do we start again? And in fact, you know, we had originally the original concept was the new drinks generation, to kind of borrow from Pepsi, kind of new generation. But it felt like we're going to have to start from scratch and start with water and only put things in that are good for you, and nothing bad should go in at all.
And you're quite right, and in fact, that's very much what we did. And you know, in you know, when we were researching sweeteners, and you know, unfortunately, because of some of the mineral content that we have, with the beneficial minerals which are essential to the human body but are an intrinsic part of our drink, there were a few flavors we did have to have some kind of a sweetener to counteract the bitterness of them. And you know, then we came, you know, we looked into so many different, you know, different sweeteners, and you know, stevia, which is, you know, completely natural plant-based sweetener, 0 calories, was, you know, thank God for that.
Absolutely.
And it, you know, that was a lovely sort of revelation moment as well, that actually, you know, you can have something that really does taste great. It's bloody Lazarus, that bug's back. It really does taste great,
but I think
you know.
For me, the aspect of creating a drink that was good, hence the whole "made to be good" tag. But for me, the difference as well was when we started adding the vitamins in. Because I think you know, I know you agree that, I mean, you know, water, lovely, can't get enough of it, etc. But you know, what options do you have to drink? You know, as an adult, you know, what kind of soft drinks are there? And what I hated was all the kind of many designs and brands, you know, targeting kind of basically kiddies, really, with like cartoony graphics and all this kind of stuff.
But I
felt that what we needed was something more grown up. And I think when we added the vitamins in, which, meant that we have to put a little bit of stevia in. But to me, that's what a drink should be. It should be doing you good. It shouldn't be doing bad things to you. So for me, the whole "made to be good" concept really started coming alive when we added the vitamins and minerals in. And again, researching all the minerals, you know, in terms of the benefit. I mean, magnesium, what an amazingly brilliant product magnesium is.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea until we started researching it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we all know that, hey, you know, we need magnesium, we need zinc. But when we started drilling down into, well, what does it actually do to our body, and realizing that every single cell in the human body needs magnesium to survive.
That was absolutely
that
shocking.
was just an eye opener. And do you remember there was one report we looked at, or there was a couple of reports we looked at, but the amount of people, adults, just the amount of people within the UK who are magnesium deficient, iron deficient, calcium deficient. I think even that was like, it was a real wow moment.
Well, it's like 50% of the adult UK population take vitamin supplements, which is an enormous slap in the face for our food and drink manufacturers that they have to do that. I mean, it's amazing when it's not something you talk about either, but with what I do, when I'm going around to kind of people's houses and friends' houses and stuff, and we're out talking, and we talk about Dr. Funk and the benefit of vitamins and minerals, that they all say, oh yeah, I take this, that, and the other, magnesium, zinc, calcium, etc. It's amazing how many people are taking it, and it should be in your daily intake. So I think it's pretty scandalous. And I say, you opened my eyes to the whole sugar issue and how much sugar was in all these products, and they say the rise of diabetes, etc. So I'm just really, I just know that for me, Dr. Funk is a good drink that's made to be good, and I'm very proud about the time it took us to do and come up with, but also the fact that adding in those vitamins led to, I think, the breakthrough on the branding as well.
I think yes, I think very much. Well, hence the name,
Exactly.
Thank God for Polish biochemists.
But I think again that was kind of led on from the whole made to be good concept.
Yeah.
And and I think we were looking at loads of V words, weren't we, for the brand name? With vitamin in it or vit in it or whatever.
Oh,
which a lot of other brands do.
So I'd love to find all my working notes from those days, because we did come up with some truly ridiculous and silly names.
We came up with some cracking names. What do you mean?
Oh, we also came up with some good ones, but unfortunately, I think the problem with brainstorming is things become an in-joke, and unless you're part of it, you wouldn't really get.
I'll dig out some of the notes. I've got a whole list of brand names.
Yeah, I remember this.
There was some terrible pages
printed out.
Some terrible ones. But I said, for me, the revelation again, the thank God for Google. Just who discovered vitamins? Casimir Funk, Polish biochemist. You kind of go, what a great name.
Casimir Funk. That was a brand opportunity sent down from heaven. It really was.
It's superb. It's absolutely superb. And borrowing that, and again, it just gives you the underpinning behind, what I think we've created is, we always said we want to create a drink that tastes nice, but it's got nothing bad in it. And then adding the vitamins into it, actually, it isn't just a neutral drink, it's good for you. And then underpinning it with the brand of Dr. Funk, which was a brilliant idea to have Dr. Funk.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to call it Funky Water.
That's right.
And you also
I mean, I know we're talking a lot about the minerals, but the vitamins, but we mustn't forget that the essential minerals we add in again. I mean, I think it was the combination of the vitamins, the minerals, the truly delicious flavors, and I think as well that we. If you remember, some of the drinks we tried were so over flavored. They were just revolting.
Well, they're one extreme or the other, aren't they?
How we sort of said, look, this has got to be really subtle. It's got to be a sophisticated taste, because this is a refreshing, good drink. Why ruin it by over flavoring it?
Well, that's how we came up with the Refreshing Drinks Company, because in the tastings, we were going, now that you've taken all the rubbish out and you start with good things, the drinks taste clean and refreshing. And that was the whole bed point for the company name. And then the Dr. Funk branding kind of goes on top of that. But of course, what the funk bit does for me as well is it gives you that brand character and personality. So, here's some new point of sale, which is going to be whizzed out, later on. So, made to be good.
Hold it up a bit. Hold it up a bit more. A bit more. to your left, up a bit. Great, we can't see you now.
Perfect.
There we go. I think that looks really good. Made to be good.
I'll just have there then. Okay, I'll just have it like this. Everyone listening on the audio is going to. Everyone on the audio is going to be struggling here, but never mind. Watch the video instead. Watch the video. Yeah. Cool. Well, look, I think I'm really looking forward. I've got me direct print cans here, and I do apologise to everybody who because I forgot to bring them to you, didn't I? I went all the way out. I went all the way out to Romania.
All the way down in Cheltenham, and you forgot to bring them.
And I forgot to bring them with me to our meeting. Anyway, you should. Thanks to our lovely post office, you too should be having some cans delivered any minute now.
Well, I'm just looking out my office window. Can't see anything yet. But
right. I looked at it and it said guaranteed delivery by 1 o'clock, except in certain areas of the country.
Yeah, that's one hell of a caveat, isn't it?
What does that mean? Unless of course it's a sunny Friday, in which case we'll deliver it, some other time. Why bother delivering it on a sunny Friday?
We mustn't badmouth the Royal Mail. They do a bloody good job under very difficult circumstances.
I didn't mention them by name, who they are. They're just a courier company delivering.
Okay.
Yes.
And what else has been happening in your week this week?
Oh, blimey. Well, obviously we had a wonderful meeting on Wednesday. I think the big thing for me, what I'm anxiously doing is scrolling through Dr. Funk drinks on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, etc., because we are about to hit 3,000 followers on Instagram. And to think
that is just fantastic. It really is.
And to think we did nothing on Instagram until literally a few weeks ago. And we've gone from kind of 0 to 3,000 in an unbelievably short period of time. It all goes to back up what I've been saying for a while now, that we are the fastest growing soft drink in the UK at the moment. Yeah. And they say everything's pointing in the right direction.
2,990 followers, yes.
Well, see, that's gone up by 5 during this podcast. Because it was 2,000, we were 15 off, last time I looked. So it's all going. So I think that's really, really good. I'm really looking forward to. We've got some really good feedback from some really strong influencers and some social media guys. And I say for me, I think what I'm looking forward to is taking my production hat off as soon as this stuff is done in the next kind of 10 days to 2 weeks, and put my marketing hat back on to really kind of drive.
I think that's going to be great.
Actually, I think we should talk about the marketing and maybe the branding, the design in one of our little podcasts. Maybe get
we should do.
Our
we should
friend
I think it's worth mentioning, just because we're nearly 20 minutes long now. I think it's worth mentioning that we're going to be doing some various different kind of shows. Various different events coming up. So we're going to be at the Free From and Keto event in Birmingham on the 16th and 17th of September. If you're going, come and visit us at the stand. Try Dr. Funk if you haven't tried it. You will love it. And I thought it's worth mentioning, we're also going to be at lunch at Excel in London on the 27th and 28th of September. Again, please come and see us, whether you're a consumer, whether you're a retailer. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love you to try it. We'd really encourage you to visit our stands. And then last but not least, on the 26th of October in Milton Keynes at the Marshall Arena, we're also doing the Tiki event. So again, please come and talk to us. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love you give you some cans, let you try the drink.
Brilliant. So we're letting you loose upon the world, are we, Simon? Is the Marshall Arena, is that a stadium? Is this going to be Simon's first stadium tour?
Won't be my first, actually, but I have no idea what the Marshall Arena is. I'm assuming it's some sort of,
it's a football stadium,
Milton Keynes version of the NEC or XL, I guess.
Stadium rocker, Simon. They're all going to turn up in the droves to see you.
I have been to a fair amount in my life, yes.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. Which reminds me, you're talking about future podcasts. What happened to the cocktails? Were we going to do cocktails today?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do, the next one we're going to do, we will. I think what we want to do is we want to find one of the bars or restaurants that we've been to where we have had fun and done a few, and really get to get a proper mixologist in and have a bit of fun.
Oh, that's a very good idea. I think the two of us need to be together because I need to sample.
Yeah, I think doing it like this is great. You're in London, I'm in Wiltshire. Next time we meet, we want to do it.
Well, I think the next time we'll meet will probably be at the factory, unless we're meeting at next week.
You know where we could do it, at that fabulous little bar we like.
Yes, we could, but we could. So we'll do this. I think we'll do this kind of on camera next week, and then the week after we'll be together and we can do it, by the factory in that little bar or wherever. Cool.
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Sounds good to me. Right, I can't wait. I'm going to go and brush up my cocktail recipe book and have a look at all that.
I would like to say I'll go and try and find mine and dust it down, but I know exactly where it is. And believe me, it's got no dust on it whatsoever.
I'm probably going to have to Amazon and get one ordered because I really haven't.
Oh, right, I've got a really fabulous one I've had for years. It's called the American Cocktail Book. It is one of the best available.
Well, you're going to have to bring that to the factory with you, and you can hand that to the mixologist and say, page 47, paragraph B. We'll have that one, please.
It's a plan.
Wonderful. Excellent. Right, okay. Well, I think we've wittered on for long enough this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will speak to you very soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and have a good one.
Same to you. It's going to be a busy one for me, celebrating my mother's 90th birthday.
Ooh, well, give us some Dr. Funk.
Oh, she loves it. She has Dr. Funk in her fridge all the time, and yeah, she absolutely adores it.
She's been drinking it for years.
Well, maybe. Since we launched it, yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Simon. Have a good one. Okay,
take care, guys. Bye. Have a good week, everybody.